Iran reportedly unleashed a wave of retaliatory strikes against Arab states aligned with President Trump, taking action after 6 consecutive nights of U.S. bombing operations. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said its forces struck Salama and Ghanem Island in Oman as part of what it called the 13th wave of Operation Nosser II. The IRGC announced that its units destroyed U.S. surveillance radar installations in Oman, claiming those systems were neutralized during recent strikes. Iranian statements also assert that strikes inside Jordan destroyed multiple U.S. aerial refueling tankers and several fighter aircraft that were operating from bases in the kingdom. Tehran's forces claimed they struck U.S.-supplied HIMARS rocket units and their missiles in Kuwait, saying the mobile launchers were put out of action. Iranian reports further alleged that their strikes killed both Allied personnel and members of U.S. Special Operations Forces embedded with partner units. The United States, however, has not confirmed any U.S. troop deaths or the loss of Allied personnel in these reported strikes. State-affiliated Fast News Agency earlier published a list saying Iran would target Middle Eastern ports that the U.S. military uses for logistics and resupply. The list of potential targets named by Iranian media included Jebel Ali in the UAE, Mina Salman and Shuaibah in Bahrain, Camp Arifjan in Kuwait, and Hamad port in Qatar. Iran's declarations extended to naming the King Fahd industrial port in Yanbu, Saudi Arabia, and also claimed to have struck a U.S. command center located inside Syria. Targeting a command node in Syria, if true, would represent a direct hit on U.S. regional command and control infrastructure and escalate the cross-border confrontation. These Iranian counterstrikes were announced as U.S. forces carried out what was described as a 6th round of bombing against Iranian targets on July 16. In a symbolic escalation, Iranian artists and state media unveiled murals showing President Trump and members of his family depicted inside coffins. Iran has unveiled a new mural in Tehran depicting Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu drowning in a sea of red. The mural, unveiled on July 16, carries a bold message warning that its targets will face the Iranian nation's revenge. The slogan appears in both Persian and English, according to reports by Tasnim news agency. Meanwhile, another billboard in Tehran displays the phrase "blood for blood" alongside images of Donald Trump and his family in coffins. The artwork features Trump, Melania Trump, and his 5 children against the backdrop of the White House. Installed in Tehran's Palestine Square, the display threatens revenge against Trump's family following recent U.S. strikes on Iran. Another mural portrays the American president inside an open coffin beneath the words, "We killed Trump." Iranian state-linked media described the murals as symbolic messages amid the escalating confrontation between Tehran and Washington. A new mural depicting U.S. President Donald Trump in a coffin has been unveiled in Tehran, reflecting the raw anger and desire for revenge coursing through Iran's hardline circles. The mural was installed at Tehran's Ingelab Square, a symbolically charged location often used for political messaging and revolutionary imagery. The artwork shows Trump lying in a coffin alongside the phrase "We kill Trump," turning the display into an explicit death threat rather than just a protest image. This installation comes amid mounting hardline calls for revenge after Ali Khamenei's killing, with public art now echoing the rhetoric of retaliation. The mural follows days of escalating military confrontation between Tehran and Washington. American strikes continue to batter Iran, but is Tehran now hitting back with greater force? U.S. strikes reportedly hit the maritime control tower at Iran's strategic Chabahar port. The attack was reportedly the 3rd strike on the same facility in just over a week. Iran also said the U.S. struck a location in the Vazian district of Lorestan province. Officials in Lorestan said authorities are currently assessing the extent of the damage, according to reports. They added that further details will be released once the investigation into the strikes is completed. Meanwhile, Iran's Revolutionary Guards claim they have struck an American military base in Syria. The IRGC claimed the strike specifically targeted a U.S. Special Operations Command Center. The command center is reportedly located in Syria's strategically important Al-Tanf region. Iran claimed the attack destroyed a radar system along with several military helicopters. Tehran also claimed that a large number of U.S. personnel were killed in the strike. However, Washington, D.C. has not confirmed Iran's claims regarding damage or casualties at Al-Tanf. This comes as Iran insists it remains in full control of the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. Iran has also warned it could block oil and gas exports through the Hormuz Strait if American attacks continue. Another night of intense fighting has unfolded as the United States and Iran exchanged fresh military strikes across the Gulf. For the sixth consecutive night, US forces launched another wave of attacks against targets inside Iran. Iranian media reported that American strikes targeted an airport near the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. IRGC statement read, and I quote, "3 explosions were heard around the airport and at least 1 American enemy projectile hit Ain Shah Airport," unquote. Fresh explosions were also reported around Bandar Abbas as the latest US strikes hit key military locations. Reports suggest strategic transport links were also targeted, further intensifying tensions around the Strait of Hormuz. According to US Central Command, the latest operation was aimed at further degrading Iran's military capabilities. US Central Command statement read, and I quote, "At 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, US forces began conducting a new wave of strikes against Iran for the 6th consecutive night to further degrade Iranian military capabilities," unquote. Missiles, drones and airstrikes continue to transform the Gulf into one of the world's most volatile conflict zones. As Washington intensifies its campaign, Tehran has responded with another wave of drone attacks. Explosions have been reported in Doha as warning sirens echoed across parts of the Qatari capital, triggering fresh security concerns amid escalating regional tensions. Qatari authorities issued emergency alerts to mobile phones, urging residents to stay alert and follow official safety instructions as the situation continued to unfold. Iran says American military facilities in Bahrain remain within the range of its expanding retaliatory operations. Iran's Revolutionary Guard claims it carried out another drone strike targeting US air assets stationed in Bahrain. The Strait of Hormuz has once again emerged as the central battleground in the escalating confrontation. With both sides continuing to exchange strikes, there are still no visible signs of de-escalation in the conflict. Reports of loud explosions in downtown Dubai suddenly pulled the UAE into the US-Iran showdown, hinting at possible pressure on American allies. Witness accounts of blasts in the UAE during US-Iran fire exchanges fed fears that the conflict shockwaves are reaching regional financial hubs. However, Dubai media office swiftly denied reports of any explosions in Dubai City on July 16.